When the sun was just crawling over the mountains, Matteo, a young baker from the village of San Brio, looked out the bakery window with a heavy heart. The smell of fresh bread couldn't hide his frustration. He worked tirelessly, yet his money slipped away like sand through his fingers. There was effort, but no real growth. One morning, while cleaning the counter, an old traveler came in. He didn't ask for much, just a simple cup of coffee. But before leaving, he placed a small golden seed on the counter, shimmering under the morning light. "Plant it wisely," he said, "and it will show you the secret of true wealth." Then he vanished down the quiet streets. Matteo held the seed for a long moment, feeling a gentle warmth in his hands. It was just a seed, and yet, something about it felt alive. "The secret of wealth," he whispered. He had no idea that this small gift would become the turning point of his life, and the beginning of a discovery far deeper than money itself. In the following days, Matteo couldn't stop thinking about the seed. At night, after closing the bakery, he would sit and stare at it, wondering if he should plant it. A strange mix of doubt and hope kept him awake. What if it's a sign, he thought. Tired of stagnation, he decided to take a chance and planted it in a small clay pot. For weeks, he watered the seed with patience. But nothing happened. No sprout, no change. Frustrated, he almost gave up, until he remembered the traveler's words, "Plant it wisely." Maybe it wasn't about soil at all, maybe it was about himself. The seed might be a metaphor, one that demanded understanding, not just water. Inspired, he applied this idea to his own life. Using part of his small savings, Matteo bought a better oven and taught 2 young apprentices how to bake. For the first time, his work began to produce results even while he rested. It was as if the invisible seed had finally started to grow, not in the pot, but within his mind. Soon, the neighbors began to whisper. "Matteo's lost his mind, wasting money on helpers," they said, laughing at him. Many thought he was being reckless. But Matteo stayed focused, committed to his new way of thinking. For the first time, he wasn't just working with his hands, he was working with his mind. And that made him feel truly free. Weeks turned into months. The bakery thrived, and the scent of fresh bread filled the streets. Matteo noticed something remarkable: money now flowed even when he wasn't behind the counter. The new oven and the apprentices had become his fertile soil. The golden seed hadn't sprouted in the earth, but it had taken root in his mindset. Still, not everything was easy. There were nights of doubt, fear, and loneliness. What if it all falls apart, he wondered, staring at the pot that remained empty. Deep down, though, he knew the lesson wasn't about instant results, it was about patience, wisdom, and faith in the invisible growth that must come before any true harvest. Time passed, and Matteo began to see his village flourish alongside his bakery. Other young people, inspired by his courage, came to him for advice. He helped them open small workshops, stores, and bakeries. What began as a single seed now spread like invisible roots, nourishing dreams, families, and hope throughout all of San Brio. One evening, as he closed the bakery, Matteo spotted the same old traveler walking slowly down the road. He ran to him, holding the pot, the seed still intact. It never sprouted, he confessed. The old man smiled kindly. Because it wasn't meant to grow in the soil, Matteo. It was meant to grow inside you. The wealth it promised, you've already built it. Matteo stood in silence, a wave of gratitude washing over him. He realized then that the seed's gold wasn't in its shine but in what it had awakened within him. Patience had become profit, wisdom his greatest investment, and work a tree that bore fruit even when the gardener was away. Years passed. Matteo was no longer just the village baker, he had become the symbol of a new way of thinking. He walked through the streets, watching the shops open, the apprentices now teaching others, and the families thriving. All of it had grown from a simple act, from a seed that never sprouted, yet changed everything. He finally understood that true wealth isn't about stacking coins, but about learning how to make your effort work for you. The old traveler had taught him a lesson no bank could ever hold, the value of wisdom. Those who plant understanding, he thought, will always harvest freedom. The sunset painted a golden glow across the village windows. That night, as he locked the bakery, Matteo looked once more at the pot. There it was, the golden seed, still unchanged, now a symbol of everything that had grown inside him. He smiled and whispered, "The seed doesn't need to grow when the one who planted it already has." For the first time, he truly felt rich. If this story touched your heart, remember, real growth begins within. Subscribe to Inner Journey, turn on notifications, and keep discovering stories that inspire, teach, and transform. Every week, a new journey of reflection and wisdom awaits you.